Yes. Welcome back to Ed Hunts. So today we have a small stack of DVDs and games just in front of me here that we'll be taking down to CeX and getting their in-store credit. So starting from the top, we have the Roswell DVD box set.
Roswell, the complete 17-disc box set, trades in for £6.
Then we have Dad's Army box set, which is still sealed.
Dad's Army 14-disc trades in for £4.
We have the 6 Feet Under Series 1 to 5.
6 Feet Under, the complete collection, trades in for £6.
We have Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the complete Uncharted series.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the complete series, 24 discs, trades in for £14.
We have Hello Kitty and Friends just at the top there. Dead Rising 3, Kingdom Hearts 3, GTA 4, The Simpsons Hit and Run, which is a really good one.
Dead Rising 3 also trades in for £160, so together with these 4 games, they trade in for a total of £22.60. So just on these games, we made a profit of over £16.
And 3 more box sets underneath that, which is Inspector Morse.
Inspector Morse 18-disc collection trades in for £6.
Little Britain.
Little Britain trades in for £6.
And Private Practice.
So if we input all of the DVD box sets and games that we have in this pile into the CeX app, we get a total of $68.60, which is a $56.40 profit.
So I'll see you down at CeX, see you down some charity shops, and I'll see you when I get back. Never seen this in before. Izuki Midoriya. Oh, it's My Hero Academia. Academia, sorry. It's cool. They've got a lot of cool Mario Lego in here at the moment as well. It's definitely worth a look at. 10 or 15 pounds. It's really good. Still, they've got that mint inbox N64 175. I'm telling you, this thing barely has a nick on it. It is absolutely stunning. Marvel Risk, never seen that one. Rare to find, only £10. That is brilliant. Look, Lego Technic's only a £10. I remember when I was a kid, that was so expensive. Yeah, goes for £1.
So our third stop of the day brings us to Game, and we are going through the 3 for 2 offer that they currently have on their pre-owned games to see if there's anything worth grabbing. As you can see, there are some really cheap games here, including Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind. Don't think you can play this anymore. It's only 10p though. I think the servers are down. I did take to the counter. Unfortunately, they did not have it in stock, so I could not grab it. We do manage to find some games to grab from here. We end up spending just under £20, and we do take these to CeX later, but not just here. We're going to bring all the DVD box sets and games here. So we're just having a quick look at the 3DS games that they have in stock. Seem to have quite a healthy stock of it, but coming over to the glass cabinet now, and you can see Mario All-Stars in the cabinet there for just £5. But when I got to the counter, they did charge me £6. There is a few more Super Nintendo games in here that I do want to grab, but let's go back to the games room as I've got more games to trade in.
So we have another pile of Blu-rays, games and controllers here to take down to CeX. In the first pile, they didn't take all of the box sets because some of them did have discs missing, but we did still make some decent money and we did still get a few decent retro games of it. So we're going to take these pieces down to CeX and get their exchange value. I'll put down a list of all of the values that I'll be getting for them right now.
So if we input the controllers, the Blu-rays and the games into the CeX app, we get a total of £57.20 for these items, which is a total profit of £40.70.
So we should be making a pretty healthy profit on these controllers and games and Blu-rays. So let's go down to CeX and see what we can get for them.
later.
So I decided to rush up a few of the games that I got from game earlier to take down to CEX, as a few games have just arrived in my local CEX. So as you can see, just for 3 of these games I will be getting £23. We're going to leave Back for Blood here, so let's go down to CEX and game once again and see what we can find.
It's trading for £8 CEX, so if I can find a couple out of 5 each. Very, very valid. It's a possibility.
Now we have arrived at CEX to trade in the controllers, Blu-rays and games. So the first stop is to look at the Switch games, and one that has just caught my eye here is Baldur's Gate. I've got quite a few friends that are into this series, however it's one that has definitely bypassed me. I don't really know much about it at all. Let me know if you do in the comments, but I'm after a Japanese RPG today, which is Ys Origins. I've heard a lot about it, so really want to pick it up and give it a go myself, and I'm after a copy of Puyo Puyo Tetris. So coming over to the glass cabinet now and having a look at some of their loose carts. Some of them are actually in really nice condition as well. Pokemon Stadium 2, still one of my favourite N64 games, but this is what I'm here for. I'm here for these boxed Game Boy Advance games, specifically the Mario at the front. We do actually have a couple more games to trade in as well, so we're going to take these to the counter now. But coming back to the glass cabinet, and I have noticed something.
Oh my god, that Pokemon Silver is definitely fake. Look, you can just tell. It hasn't got like the shiny card. Oh my god, they've literally taken in a fake Pokemon Silver in here. I'm actually quite surprised. They're normally pretty on it in here. That's a shock. That's really nice condition there. Oh yeah, that is a surprise. The red is alright, but yeah, that Pokemon Silver is definitely dodgy. And we're back. So we just came back from CEX game and the local game shop and a charity shop as well, and I'm pleased to say that CEX took all of the controllers, all of the games and all of the Blu-rays. So let's start going through the receipts and I'll show you what I've got for each item. So in the first pile of Blu-rays, DVDs and games, they didn't actually take all of them. A few of the box sets weren't taken as they had a few discs missing. That was my fault. I just didn't check them properly at the boot sale when I was there. They were just on a massive tarpaulin and there were so many there, I just didn't have time to check them all properly. However, going through what they did take, they took £4 for Private Practice, £6 for Little Britain, which is actually a really good one, only paid 20p. Dad's Army, which was £4, 6 Feet Under, £6. We got £4 for Hello Kitty, we got £10 for Simpsons Hit and Run, £5 for GTA 4 on the Xbox 360, £4 for Kingdom Hearts 3, and we got £3 for Dead Rising, and we got in total £46 voucher for that first pile. So in the second pile now, well, we had the PlayStation 3 controllers. We got £14 for the 6-axis and £18 for the DualShock. Now we only paid £7 collectively for those, and that is a £25 profit, which is awesome. We've got £5 for the Spider-Man Blu-ray collection, £6 for the X-Men Blu-ray collection, £1.20 for Titanfall 2, £3 for Just Dance 3, and we got £10 for GTA 5. So in this last receipt now, we have GTA 5. Once again, I wanted to do it separately because if you do it at the same time, maybe they can give you the reduced price, so I always do them separately. Then we just got 90p for the Smurfs Blu-ray and 120 for the Star Wars prequel trilogy. We only paid 66p for those two though, so really good profit on those two. So just one last receipt here. These are just a few games that I got from game. We paid collectively £18 plus another game, which was Back for Blood, which I didn't exchange in, and we got £23 for those. So we made a £5 profit plus Back for Blood on PlayStation 5 as profit just on that stack. So as you can see, just on the controllers alone, we made a solid £25 profit, and obviously everything that I traded in all had some profit attached to it as well. So absolutely amazing, really happy with the outcome. So Managed to get quite a lot from CeX, also from Game and the local game shop, and we even got one charity shop find to show you as well. So let's start getting through it because we've got a lot to go through. So let's start going through the local game shop stuff first, because most of it is kind of low dollar stuff. So first of all, we've got Vanquish on the PlayStation 3, just £1. We have Virtual Fighter 5 on the PlayStation 3. Now this is amazing. I can't believe this has like plummeted in price so much. This is such a great fighting game. Honestly, I know it's an early release for the PlayStation 3, but really highly recommend Virtual Fighter 5, because you can now get it on PlayStation 4 and 5 as well. Starsky and Hutch on the PlayStation 2. All these are complete in nice condition. Got Everybody's Golf on the PlayStation 2. Medal of Honor, European Salt, New York Runabout 3 PS2, and the last one is USA Racer. And there, most of those were just £1, so really good prices from the local game shop there. So let's start going through the games from Game now. Now they've got a 3 for 2 at the moment on pre-owned games, so I highly recommend you go in there and get a few games. Now we did get 3 more or 2 more that I'm not going to show you, but they were exchanging at CeX to add to the pile because there was some Game Boy Advance games that came up that I couldn't say no to. So let's start going through them now. So these 3 were just £10 for all 3 of them. So we've got Very Valet on the Switch, we have Iron Harvest on the PlayStation 5, and we have MXG 20 or MXP 2020 on the PlayStation 5. Now this alone trades in for £8. So if I was to trade this in, that means those 2 games only cost me £2, which is pretty cool. So definitely go into Game, see what pre-owned games they've got for 3 for 2, because you can really find some good offers in there. And if you bundle it up like I did just there, that's 3 games for less than £10. So you really can't go wrong with that. Got one very small charity shop pickup. Now this was technically free. It's Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception. I've got 2 other DVDs with it that came to £1. They've already been traded in for £2, so this is the residue, and this was free, and it is complete. Obviously very cheap game. Anyway, I've got one more pickup from Game, and that is Back 4 Blood. Now this technically was free because the 2 games that I bought with it were the ones that I paid for, and I traded those in. I made £5 profit on it, so this was left over, so technically free. Back 4 Blood on the PlayStation 5, one of the very cheapest games on the PlayStation 5, only £5 in CeX and Game. So let's start going through the CeX pickups now. Right, there is quite a few games to go through. As you see, got a big bag here, so let's just start going through it. So we've got 3 loose SNES games, and the first one is Captain America. Now this is one that does not pop up in CeX very often, box store otherwise, so I had to grab it. I just had to grab it even loose. So I think this worked out to be like 28, so this is actually quite an expensive game. I haven't played it before. I've looked at a review online of it, and it doesn't look that great, but yeah, Captain America wants it to the collection. Next, Mario All-Stars, absolute classic, don't need to say anything more about that. Then we have Super Star Wars on the SNES. Then we've got a Switch game, Puyo Tetris on the Switch. I think this one was £12, it is in there, £12. Then we've got Ys Origin on the Switch. Now this one was only £20, and I've heard about the Ys series before. I think it came out on a bunch of older consoles, but this is meant to be one of the best Japanese RPGs around, so I wanted to pick it up and add to the collection. That's Ys Origin. Then we have some disc-based games. We've got Star Wars Rebel Strike on the GameCube, only £8 complete, but it was a good price. And we've got Final Fantasy 12 on the PlayStation 2. Now, I did actually want a few more Final Fantasy games, but the ones that they had did not have the manual, and for me that's very important. So yeah, I only picked up this one, Final Fantasy 12. Then we have some box goodness. The first one being Super Mario World, Super Mario Advance on the Game Boy Advance.
With 78 levels, it's Mario's biggest adventure ever. Now on Game Boy Advance. Come, spend time with us.
Now this one I think was 28. Now I didn't want to leave this one behind because the condition it's just so good. Absolutely perfect condition. Had this one when I was in my teenage years actually, and yeah, really enjoyed playing it. So definitely gonna be added to collection in this condition as well. Super Mario Advance on the Game Boy Advance. Then we have Super Mario Super Circuit on the Game Boy Advance.
Mario Kart Super Circuit on Game Boy Advance.
Again, immaculate condition, really nice condition. Really like finding these mini games in CeX as you trade, and yeah, overall nice condition. They're all complete as well, all in there, very nice. Very happy with that. That wasn't in there very long either. I think that CeX only got it in maybe a few days before. Then we have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on Game Boy Advance. This one was £12. This one I didn't actually see online, I just kind of saw it when I was in there, but it's complete. Pretty nice condition as well. And yeah, obviously Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, absolute classic. Don't know how it plays on Game Boy Advance, but yeah, we'll give it a go. And then we have Perfect Dark on the N64. Now I recently sold this at a market, so it's nice to re-add it to my collection. I believe this one was about £25 as well, and it is complete, doesn't have the expansion pack with it, but yeah, £25 for Perfect Dark. And then we do have a Switch Joy-Con grip. Now this was actually given to me by another customer that was in there. He was trying to trade it in, they didn't accept it. He was trading other things as well though, and so I offered him some money for it. I waited for him outside and he just gave it to me in the end, so I didn't actually pay for it. Yes sir, that's a Switch grip Joy-Con for the controllers. So that is it for my pickups today, and it just shows you if you can find any of your old PlayStation 3 controllers lying around at home, they're in good condition, they still have the serial number on the back, you really can make some good money on them. So if you enjoyed that, hit that like button, consider subscribing. I'll see you next one.